Hi, we are from At Home Tuition. In this video, we are going to see few examples on how to apply inverse proportion to find the values for the unknown variables. Our first example is, a factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 63 days. How many machines would be required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days? Solution. Given the number of machines required in a factory is 42 machines and number of days required to produce the required number of articles is 63 days. So in 63 days, using 42 machines, they are producing some required number of articles. Now what we want to find? The number of days required to produce the same number of articles was reduced to 54 days instead of 63 days. So in 54 days, few machines are working in a factory. So we want to find that number of machines required for 54 days to produce the same number of articles. So from the question, we can see that the number of articles to be produced is same. Okay, so we are changing the number of days and the number of machines. So here in this case, the number of days required to produce same number of articles is decreasing. So first they have given 63 days. Now it's reduced to 54 days. So now the number of days is reduced. So the number of machines required to produce the same number of articles should be more. Then only you can produce the same number of articles. So now the decrease in number of days to produce the same number of articles leads to increase in the number of machines required. So we know that when an increase in one quantity decreases the other quantity and vice versa, then those two quantities, let's take X and Y, are said to be in inverse proportion. So we know the relation for inverse proportion is the two quantities X into Y equal to K, that is a constant. K is a constant. So in this case, let's take X be the number of machines required in the factory and Y be the number of days required to produce the same number of articles. So from the given, let's take X1 as 42 machines and Y1, that is number of days required as 63 days. So if 42 machines are working, then it takes 63 days. So now next what is given? 54 days is given. So Y2, corresponding Y2 is 54 days and the X2, number of machines, we want to find it out. So now we know it's an inverse proportion. So we are writing the relation for inverse proportion as X1 into Y1 equal to X2 into Y2. Now substituting the values, 42 into 63 equal to 54 into X2. So now cross multiplying and dividing and simplifying, we will get the value of X2 as 49. So what is X2? The number of machines. So thus 49 machines would be required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days. Now let's see the next example. A car takes 2 hours to reach a destination by traveling at the speed of 60 km per hour. How long will it take when the car travels at the speed of 80 km per hour? So solution, what's given? Time taken by the car to reach its destination is 2 hours. So the traveling speed of car is 60 km per hour. What we want to find? So if the traveling speed of the car is 80 km per hour, then we want to find the time taken by the car to reach its destination. So now from the given, we can understand that the distance traveled to reach the destination is same. So only the speed and the time required for reaching the destination is varied. So if the speed of the car increases, then the time taken to reach the destination will be less. So thus increase in speed of the car leads to decrease in time to reach the destination. So we know that when an increase in one quantity decreases the other quantity and vice versa, then those two quantities, let's consider as X and Y, are said to be in inverse proportion. So now let's take X be the time taken by the car to reach its destination and Y be the travelling speed of the car. So Now from the given, we'll write what is x1, y1, x2 and y2. So it's given time taken by the car is 2 hours. That is x1. If it travels at a speed of 60 km per hour. So that is y1. Next, if the car travels at 80 km per hour. So that is y2. We want to find x2. That is time taken by the car to reach its destination. So we know the relation of inverse proportion for two quantities is x into y equal to k. So where k is a constant. So with this we can rewrite the inverse proportion equation as x1 into y1 equal to x2 into y2. Now substituting all the values, 2 into 60 equal to 80 into x2. So x2 is the one what we want to find it out. On cross multiplying and simplifying, we will get x2 as 1.5 hours. So it will take 1.5 hours to reach the destination when the car travels at a speed of 80 km per hour. Now let's see the next example. Two persons could fit new windows in a house in 3 days. One of the person fell ill before the work started. How long would the job take now? How many persons would be needed to fit the window in 1 day? So we have two questions in this. So what's given? Number of persons to fit the window in a house is 2. And the number of days to fit a window in a house is 3. Now first what is given? One of the person fell ill before the work started. How long would the job take now? So now totally we have 2 persons. So one of the person was ill. So 2 minus 1, only we have 1 person. Okay, so now the number of persons required to do the work is decreased from 2 to 1. So the number of days required to do the work will be increased. So when an increase in one quantity decreases the other, so it's an inverse proportion. So what we can do? So first we'll write. So let x be the number of persons to fit the window in a house and y be the number of days required to fit the window in a house. So what's given first? If 2 persons are working, so x1 is 2. The number of days they have taken is y1, that is 3. Now 1 person fell ill. So only 1 person is working. So x2 is 1. We want to find the number of days. So we know that it's an inverse proportion. So we can write the relation x1 into y1 equal to x2 into y2. On substituting x1, y1, x2, y2 values, we can find y2 as 6. So it will take 6 days to fit a window if only 1 person is working. Next question, how many persons would be needed to fit the window in 1 day? Okay, so what we know? If there were 1 person works, he takes 6 days to fit a window. So if here number of days is 1. So how many persons will require? So more number of persons will require to complete the work. So it is an inverse proportion. So by writing the relations, x be the number of persons to fit the window in a house and y be the number of days to fit a window in a house. Now here we know that x1, if 2 persons are working, then y1 it take 3 days. Now you have to complete the work in 1 day. That is y2 is 1. You want to find x2. So writing the inverse proportion relation x1 into y1 equal to x2 into y2. On substituting, rearranging and simplifying, you will get x2 as 6. So it will require 6 persons to fit the window in 1 day. Hope you have understood how to identify the inverse proportion relation, how to apply the inverse proportion relations in the given equation and to find out the unknown value. Thank you for watching the video.